I've posted hundreds of pieces of AI generated content and collected multiple six figures from it, all because I understand the few principles that make AI content actually work in 2025 and beyond. Now, I know you've seen ChatGPT prompts for your content on social media, or maybe a new copywriting software that just dropped. All of these promise the world, but usually end up giving you emojis in your scripts. They don't sound like you, and they just sound like every other piece of AI generated content out there. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3-step framework we use to get around these pitfalls of AI generated social media, not only so you can post good content, but so your content doesn't work against you. A lot of people don't realize, but if you're posting AI generated content in the wrong way, it's doing much more harm than if you were just do it yourself. Because as much as there's an upside in posting AI generated content that works, the downside is that this absolutely destroys your brand's reputation, as most people now could recognize what's AI generated and what's not. By the end of this video, you'll be able to make your AI generated content work for you so you could post on autopilot, grow your brand, post more, and work less. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to cover is helping you identify the 3 deadly sins of AI generated content. If you do not know you're making these mistakes, you should now be able to recognize it, because if you don't know and other people do, again, it will tank your brand and you don't even know that this AI generated content is hurting you and not helping you. All right. So the first deadly sin is generic templated out content. So this is like predictable list forms where the AI just spits out like bullet points almost. The over enthusiastic tone. We see this all the time with exclamation points, words that no one uses, just being over excited about writing, which a lot of people don't do. The same phrases used over and over. And then finally, 0 unique insights or thoughts. So this is the real big one here. This is like the kicker for a lot of what I'm going to be going over, is basically going over this here. There's no unique insights or thoughts. That's a dead giveaway that it's an AI generated piece of content. All right, here's an example. So I'm going to read through this. I'm going to sort of show you the difference between the AI generated content and something else that you should be optimizing for. So if you get something like this, are you struggling to generate leads for your business? Look no further. Here are 5 proven strategies to skyrocket your lead generation efforts. Now, this is something that if you go to ChatGPT, you'll get this. This is a mistake right here. Fire emoji. This is a mistake right here. No one writes like this. Look at the exclamation point, and then the hashtags. All right. If you go to ChatGPT and if you ask for like a marketing slogan for your business or a demonstration for your business, this is what it's going to give you. Right. And it's your fault, right? You're not giving it the correct input. Now, this is how you could focus on input transformation, meaning you're going to give the AI more. Garbage in, garbage out. That's sort of the motto when it comes to prompting these models. So instead of asking AI to write a post about lead generation, you're going to talk about your unique experiences, client stories, and your proprietary frameworks. All right, guys, this is the only edge going forward. If you haven't realized already, AI could basically copy anything. So the only unique edge you have going forward is you. Right? You are monetizing you. It's the beauty about the online space and marketing online and building a personal brand for leads and just overall success is you are monetizing you. There'll never be another me. There'll never be another you. And you have to dive into that. I guarantee you have stuff to talk about. You just have to tell AI about it. All right, so what you're going to say, instead of, again, writing a post about lead generation, you could prompt the AI with this. Write a post about how my client John increased leads by 43% using ABC method. Focus on the unexpected challenge of X and how we solved it. All right, this is no more effort on your end. This takes 10 more seconds to type out, and it's all the difference when it comes to the output of the generation you're going to get, because you're giving it context, guys. Everything here has to do with context that you give AI. If you give the context, it will spit out like 8 out of 10 copy. Now I'm going to show you some other methods later on after we go over these other 2 mistakes to avoid on how to make a 10 out of 10 copy. But this is just the bare bones solution on making your prompting better. All right, give it specific things about John, your clients, the numbers, and your proprietary ABC method. All right, which is how you actually help your clients get end result. And if you don't have that, try to make it as personalized as possible. All right, so basically number 1 is prompting. Avoid these templated out, boring pieces of AI generated content that, let's be honest, everyone could sort of recognize by now. All right, sin number 2 is emotional disconnection. All right, so again, AI is not the best if you don't give it information at resonating with different emotions, because no one talks like AI think it does. Like if you just give AI the basis of what you're asking for, which is just write me social media copy. That's what a lot of people do. Just write me social media copy. It is going to give you the most enthusiastic and tone deaf piece of content because it doesn't understand fully like what the goals are. All right. So we see this a lot. All right. Again, I already showed you number 1 is the overuse of exclamation points. It sprinkles in random emojis. This is a dead giveaway. No one especially if you're writing it for like LinkedIn or something. No one's using emojis or in your Instagram descriptions or script, or it's just not what people do. It also makes these grandiose claims without backing them up. This is another thing that I'll do. So I'll just make up stuff. That's why I could see over here in this prompt I showed you guys, give it the actual data, like the numbers, like 43%, ABC system. Otherwise, it will make up stuff on your behalf. You'll be surprised how many people don't quality check their AI output before posting it. Now, all of a sudden, you're just lying to your audience because AI wrote something that's not true, which is what you want to avoid. And then finally, it fails to address the real pain points in your audience. All right, so this is the fix. Again, I'm going to give you a fix for each one of these problems. Create an emotional intelligence layer for your AI content. All right, so before generating anything, you want to dive into your client's emotions, your emotions, and really understand from an emotional point of view what you're feeling. All right, this again is a benefit. AI can only understand what you give it, especially on the emotional side. It's still a machine at the end of the day. You are a human. You could feel emotions, you could recognize emotions, and you have to give AI the emotions that you and your clients are feeling so it could put that in the copywriting of your message. Okay, so these are a few questions you could ask yourself. What keeps them up at night? What specific language do they use when describing the problems? What objections do they raise during the sales call? So like if you answer these few questions here, you will get emotions. You give these emotions to AI, and I guarantee you when you use the prompt, like in step number 1, prompt, you'll get a better output. Because now it has emotions and it has specific stuff about your business, your company, your clients. Okay. For example, we did this with one of our clients, Armand. He's speaking directly to the pain points of like 7-8-figure businesses online. And he's now able to sign 10K clients with a tiny YouTube channel, right? So we worked with them one-on-one and helped him get to this point. You could see his testimonial on the top right. You can see it. You could actually hear it from him, like the power of what we were able to do. And the only reason you're able to sign 10K clients from a few hundred views is if these few hundred views resonate with your emotions, all right? And if they resonate with your emotions, which we now help AI give, then you'll be able to sign these people because they understand that you understand what they're going through. All right, so that's step number 2 is make sure that there's emotional connection, not disconnection when AI is writing your content. And the way to do that is give the AI information about pain points, emotions your clients are going through, you're going through, where you helped people go, where they were before, etc. All right, so that's the number 2 to avoid and how to fix it. And then this is a deadly sin at number 3. So I call it the strategy vacuum. Essentially, most business owners use AI tactically rather than strategically. So they create one-off posts without having a coherent strategy behind it. What this means is you should have a whole funnel in mind when it comes to AI. All right. Basically, if you don't have a strategy, these few things will happen. I'll show you how to have a holistic strategy because if you think about it, right, the content that you're creating is a funnel and there's multiple stages of this funnel. If you're just creating random content, you're going to be all over the place, right? You're just going to pepper your funnel with random things that some of them don't even align with the funnel to begin with, right? This is obviously not what we want. We want to have a coherent message and every single piece of content should be working towards something. So I want you to actually be very intentional with what you're posting. So you're going to be posting stuff for the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel, and you're gonna be intentional about it, all right? If you're posting without a strategy, just posting one-off stuff, you're gonna end up just posting all over the place, and it's not gonna make much sense, right? It's not gonna work together to get you leads, sales calls, clients, build your brand, etc. All right, so if you do just post one-off stuff, this will happen. You'll basically have a content system or content out there that just lacks a consistent theme or message, which obviously doesn't impact people hard enough. Audience gets confused, like especially on YouTube, right, which is where we're mainly focused on. If I make a video like this and then I make a video about something that's adjacent but not very similar, the algorithm is going to be like, what are you talking about? Who do you want me to show this to? Right. So if you could really hone in on a message, that's where you want to be. This comes from, again, having a content strategy, not posting one-off stuff. And then finally, we get reduced engagement. Like I mentioned, like the algorithms are like, what are you doing? It's going to reduce the engagement on your videos. Next is the AI has no idea that you're using content for the funnel. Like, again, if you're giving the AI context about write me one post, then it's going to write you one post with no broader concept of what the post is for. Where does this fit into your strategy? Is this top of funnel? Is this middle funnel? Is this meant to get people on sales calls? Is this meant to get people to stop churning from my community? Like, there's so many things that go into this, and you have to let AI know about the holistic view that you have. All right. So if you're posting a piece of content, you have to let it know, is it for this part of the funnel? Is it for this part of the funnel? Is it for this part of the funnel? This way AI could recognize the video you're asking for and it could place it into that funnel and then generate the content around the specific part of the funnel that, you know, benefits what your strategy is. All right. So the whole thing here, again, is just give the AI context. And the final thing is that if you don't do this, you're going to end up with a content that doesn't serve any business objective. Again, you'll just literally, you'll be all over the place. You'll post content here, content here, content here, content here, content here, content here, and it's not going to work, right? You want to be posting specific content for top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. I have videos on exactly what the content funnel looks like, how to break it down, how to use it for yourself, and come up with a strategy. If you want to look at that up there, it'll pop up on the top right. But these are the things that you want to avoid. All right. And the fix is to create a content strategy and then use AI to execute it, right? It's probably one of the most powerful things I could tell you is create that strategy and then share that strategy with AI. So it gives context about what you're trying to do. And every single post will fall into that strategy like a puzzle almost. You want to map out your customer journey from awareness to conversion. Where are they before? Where are they now? How do you want to get them there? How can you use content to get them there? And then you want to determine basically the questions people have at each stage. So usually people come to you, they're sad, they want to be happy. You take them along this journey. At every single part of this journey, they have questions, they have emotions, they have pain points. You want to give AI all of this information so it could create pieces of content that specifically help people get this journey. And obviously, when you get people across this line here, you get paid for it. That's the whole premise of agency or in your business. For example, Ibrahim here, he was one of our clients. He went from 0 to 10K in 44 days, and he was able to use our system and basically this framework to talk to business owners that were going through pain. He alleviated that pain with specific pieces of content that we posted with them, and he was able to reap the rewards of that content, right? Because we were hyper specific with exactly which pieces of content were for which segment of the audience, etc. Hey, Shaz here, really quick break. If you want to see how we're getting results for Ibrahim and a bunch of our other clients I've mentioned so far in this video, feel free to check out our free training down below. It's completely free. It's how we're using AI and YouTube to book in calls and clients every single week for our business. You don't have to have a big channel. You don't have to have content creation experience. And that free training down below will break down the whole entire thing. Just thought you would check it out because you got this far in the video, but let's get back to it. All right, guys, now that we went over the 3 deadly sins of AI-generated content, hopefully you're able to decipher whether you're making these mistakes or not. If you are making these, stop making them. I'm going to try to show you how we get around that with our frameworks. But yeah, these are the bad mistakes you shouldn't make. Templatized content, content that has no emotional connection, and then content that it doesn't fit into an overarching strategy. The whole thing I have to tell you here, guys, is give AI context at every single step. More context than you think, and you'll get better output. Now let's go into the Attract AI framework for effective content. The whole company, Attract AI, my company, is based around attracting people with AI into our organization to work with us, to give us money so we can help them. That's the whole basis, all right? So this is our framework for attracting those people effectively, okay? So the first part is input enhancement, all right? So instead of generic prompts, you have to feed AI with these things. So this is sort of the message I have for you guys, is you need to give context to AI, context, all right? Client conversations, testimonials, unique methodologies, frameworks, specific results, and case studies, your authentic voice patterns from your best content. This is so big, guys. This makes all the difference. For example, this whole video script, including this stuff right here, this was all written by AI, right? Does it seem like I wrote it? Well, it's because I gave AI all the context. And the way I did so, I was with our custom dashboard here. This is the internal AI tool that we use to script out all of our videos, repurpose all of our content. This is where our clients get, this is what we get. If you see, this is my Shaz AI content dashboard. That's me. You go to my knowledge base here. Now, a knowledge base is dynamic, meaning I could come in here and I could change the knowledge base and it will influence the scripts I generated, all right? All this means is I could tell it about my business, my offer, my ICP, and my goals. And when I go and generate a script, like I'll show you a script that is generated basically. Like this is this video, this is a script that is generated. You will see that it gives me a whole entire AI generated content script on exactly what to talk about. And it's hyper specific, guys, to exactly what I need because I gave it this stuff. All right, again, garbage in, garbage out. You cannot get mad at someone, AI in this example, for giving you an output when it has lack of context, right? It's like getting mad at a high school student for failing a college exam. They don't have the knowledge to do so. But if you give people the knowledge, if you give AI knowledge in this example, then you'll get a better output. So you can see my knowledge base here is what's fed to my AI script writers. My AI script writers scripted out this whole video. They script out all of our content and it works really well, right? I maybe edit it for 10, 20-ish minutes and then I'm good to go. All right, so input enhancement is lesson number 1. 2 is strategic sequencing. So every piece of content should have a clear purpose. And you sort of ask yourself these questions as well. Is it to build awareness, address a specific objection, move someone from one stage to the next, build authority, enter a pain point? What is it, right? And there's different pieces of content out there. You have impactful content, tangible value content, lifestyle content, clear objective content. So they all fall into an overarching funnel, or you could also call it a strategy. If you don't know this strategy, you can't expect AI to do so. And if AI doesn't know, it's not going to produce the best output. For example, this video is meant to help people that are struggling with AI-generated content and turn them into believers of a better way to do so. And ideally, come and join our free community. Come and work with us, right? That's the whole goal of this video. I know you're aware of it, all right? But this would fall under tangible value content because I gave you some prompts, I gave you some things that you should take away, and I gave you some actual changes you guys can make, right? If you go to the very first part of this video, you could use those prompts to make stuff better. You could ask yourself questions that will give you guys a strategy. There's so much stuff you could do, and this would fall under tangible content. So when I go to my AI script writers, I say this video is for tangible content. It's for people that are struggling with AI and need help generating better content. The AI knows, and it gives me a better result, right? Which is, again, why this video fits and it works. It's all AI generated for the most part, which is pretty crazy. All right, so strategic sequencing is massive. Make sure you have a clear purpose for posting every single video. And to do so, you could ask yourself these questions right here. And guys, I won't say another thing is that if you post, you might as well put effort into do so. If you think it's a lot of effort to post, to answer these questions, and then to come up with a content plan, and then feed AI into something, and then give it my knowledge base, like all these things I talk about, it's a lot of work, but it's not as nearly as much work as if you were to do this, one, with no AI, or two, if you were to do YouTube and do content and get no results, right? That's much harder than doing this quote unquote hard work and getting these results. So if you just do this once and you set up systems, I'm telling you, content creation becomes a gold for your business. It really, really does. All right. So make sure you're doing this stuff. This is actually what I ran through to change my whole situation in my business, get leads every day, clients every day. These are the questions I've been asking myself. These are the things that we're building. This is what we're giving AI. This is everything that you need to really get AI to work for you. And then finally, human refinement, please. When AI is outputted, please edit it. Please read it. Don't just post it on your behalf. It's not at that point yet. I wish it was, but it's not. From someone, again, that's posted thousands, hundreds of pieces of content. It's not at the point where you could just generate it and then post it. Read over it. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure the nuances about humans that only we know, they're in there. The punctuations, the things people do say, the things people don't say. Make sure it's all in there. All right. So these are some things you should look out for. Make sure it's in your brand voice. Unique perspective or insights are in there. Sort of same thing here, add personal stories, and then it removes cliches and generic language. Again, you know what people say and don't say. You know when things are trending and not trending. Just try to make it human-like as much as possible. If you're going to generate the content, you might as well edit it. All right. What we also do within this dashboard I just showed you is we have a whole draft section. So once I post on YouTube, I repurpose to all these other platforms using our repurposing station, and then we draft out the content. So every single time we draft out content, we actually edit the content. So for example, I could show you guys really quickly. By the way, we have a whole demo of how this dashboard works down below on our website. It's completely free, attractai.io if you want to check that out. When we come in, we repurpose content. So you can see this is some content right here. This is a LinkedIn post, completely AI generated. Once I save it to drafts here, it will come into our draft board and I could edit it. All right. So I could delete stuff, I could read over it, etc. Right. This is so, again, every single piece of AI content is being drafted out, edited by a human, and then scheduled out later. All right, it's so worth it, guys. I'm telling you, the effort it takes to edit this stuff and make sure it's a quality post definitely is worth the benefit it gets, right? If you don't do this stuff, it's going to look bad if you don't do it right, unless you completely nail your AI model with it, which then is awesome. But yeah, that's sort of the 3 steps, guys, we've seen work is input enhancement. Make sure AI has a significant piece of information or pieces of information to go off of to generate content for you. Strategic sequencing, make sure AI knows that for every content script it generates, every piece of content it generates, where that fits in your overarching strategy. Finally, human refinement. Look over the pieces of content, edit them. You're still smarter than AI. You guys are all smart business people, entrepreneurs, content creators. Just look over it, edit it, then post it, or do what you got to do, film it, whatever. All right. If you want to see how this has worked for multiple people, different countries, different niches, different stages of their business, we have about 6-7 case studies, depending on when you're watching this down below. You can check those out in the description or they'll pop up in the top right corner. And that's pretty much it, guys, that I have for you. If you want to use AI for your content marketing, you have a few options. One, we have a completely free training down below on how we're using AI and YouTube channels just like this to book and calls every single day. We have a free course, complete free course on how we're using AI and YouTube to book and calls every single day as well. Or if you want to check out this dashboard here that sort of briefly went through, guys, you could also see what that looks like. You'll see a whole demo and how it works. It's like, I believe, a 5-minute video. So you can wrap your head around what people are building out there and sort of what you're competing against, because there's some crazy stuff out there. And if you're not using it to get ahead, I truly believe you're going to fall behind. So make sure that you're taking action on something. If you like this video, I'll show you how we're turning these types of videos and these principles with AI generated content into actual cash collected for a business up here. You'll watch that video right there. I hope you guys enjoyed and found value. If you want to see another video, a live video, a breakdown of an AI generated bot for something, drop a comment. I'd love to make it for you. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.